Hi, I'm Olivia Stead. I'm the General Manager for Altitude Advisory and I've been with the company for coming up 6 years now. So my first impression of the company and my first takeaway was the initial application process for the role. I do remember fondly having to jump through quite a few hoops to actually get the role in the first place. It did start with a video submission, which I had to log onto a platform and do the first round to sort of give an idea of what I'm all about, what my career goals are, which then followed with the interview process and then a meet the team. So at that stage, I think, is when I really understood that they were quite serious about their recruitment process and they really did value their employees as an investment to the company. So I think at that stage is when I knew these guys are really serious and this is a firm that I want to work for. One of the biggest challenges I had when I first started was probably my self-expectation and what I wanted from the role. I think I got to the 6-month probation period mark and I actually, quite controversial, I didn't think I was going to stay, which is amazing considering that I'm now General Manager and I've made it to the 6-year mark or close to the 6-year mark. But I think that was more second guessing myself. So I had come from a role where I was previously a manager and was applying for a role as administration support. So I guess in my head, I was just trying to battle whether or not this is actually a role that I wanted to pursue or whether or not my natural instincts and my natural programming was going to kick in and then want me to do a little bit further with the role. So at that stage, I sat down with Kristen, who was the GM at that stage, and I just sort of walked her through how I was feeling at the time. So I'd explained to her that although I was very happy doing the role, I just naturally wanted a little bit more accountability, a little bit more responsibility. So we actually sat down and worked out a plan on how I can incorporate that into the role with what I was doing. And I guess that was the pivot. At that stage, I was able to highlight what my key accountabilities were, what my skill set was, and then how I could actually apply that to the new role. And then that is how the client service manager role prevailed. And I guess that was the first step into the management role that I have now. So at that point, I got a huge amount of support from the leadership team around me. I worked with a fantastic bunch of people, so talented, absolute rock stars in the industry, and I've been able to take a lot of their experience and apply that to my own learnings and how I apply that with my everyday operations of the team, of the business. It's really allowed me to grow and develop the basic fundamental skills that I had, but just learning from the team around me. I guess one of the best opportunities I've had was participating in the Emerging Leaders program with leading teams. Huge takeaways from that. Most of the company has now at one stage gone through that training program, and the takeaways for both self-development and personal development, professional development has been huge. I can't talk highly enough of that program, which again just goes to demonstrate how much the company value their employees and want them to be their best selves. So that was a huge opportunity for me. So all up, I encourage anyone to come and work for Altitude Advisory or the Hub in general. Like I said, I started as a support role and now I'm the General Manager. So it just goes to demonstrate that the sky's the limit. You're not always limited to just the role that you start with. There's plenty of opportunity and plenty of room to grow.